Hey everyone, welcome to your Moon in Gemini reading. It is such a pleasure to read for you as always. As you guys know, these readings are ultimately timeless and signless because they're energy readings, and so energy flows as it flows. If you found your way to this reading, then there's something for you, chances are. If it doesn't resonate with your conscious mind perspective, just back pocket it and see how it presents itself and unfolds for you over the next few days. That being said, also, if you'd like to, and this is going to be for the dates of, let me see, yes, Moon in Gemini, January 30th, that's today, until February 1st, okay? So if you'd like to work with me on a personal level, you can find all of my information on the page where you are right now. And I do whatever you need. So yeah, you know the spiel. So go ahead and press the like button if you enjoy this content, or the heart button wherever you are. And let's jump right in. So I do want to say that I gave a little shuff before I turned the camera on, just so that we can just see together actually what's at the bottom of the deck. The sunlight's coming in at an angle, so this may at some point just become audio, so we'll do our best. Oracle of Delphi. Okay, we'll see how that presents itself to us. Down here, humor. Yeah, this is in alignment with the message that I felt coming in for us. And how can we have Gemini energies in a mix without having humor, right? Listen with your heart. You're listening, but need to hear with a loving heart. Of course. We know the Gemini is the sign of the mind, right? Is the sign of the mind. What mind is worth its salt without balance with the heart, right? The divine order, equilibrium, speaking of balance. And I know that we need to take this card. What is it? Empress, the mother. Listen to this. Look at this. We're being bookended right now with heart. I said that it was 2 minutes, 2 seconds. So 2:02. I was just going to say we're being bookended with heart. So we have the Empress, represents a bit like Cancer energy, Cancerian energies. Moon in Cancer is what we're slipping into soon. Those energies already in the mix, 2 minutes, 22 seconds. And on the other hand, we were asked to bring heart into whatever it is that we're doing. Now, as they say that, I feel like they put heart on both sides. And now they're like, let's talk about your mindset. And this is because, this is generally the dynamic of what's happening. Because right now, a lot of you in your physical conscious mind now moment, in the physical, you may be experiencing a lot of upheaval. Hey, it's par for the course. We're literally in Aquarius season. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. This is shock, rebellion, innovation, changes, all sorts of stuff, right? Glitches in a matrix, you name it. And I feel that Spirit is wanting to let you know you may be feeling, or you may be having thinking a certain way. You may be having thoughts. You may be confused. Some of you I'm getting some of you may be actually on bulldozer mode. Some of you may be wanting to just bulldoze everything that you've worked for, all sorts of things. Imagine just kind of going crazy in the mind for a second. And so they're saying, try to bring some balance into what it is that you're doing at this time. And make sure that you bookend it with heart, right? We see this mother energy. It's nurturing. Look at the card that was right underneath the card that I just moved. Literally Ace of Hearts, love. And so Spirit is saying, this too shall pass. And in fact, this goes right back to the Moon in Taurus reading. What did the Moon in Taurus reading tell us? Literally, it's in the title. It says something like, over the next 4 days. What did it say? Over the next 4 days, do not worry about anything in all caps. Now, I have to tell you, I had to keep going back to that. Like, yesterday, probably 32 times, like, oh yeah, the guide said don't worry about anything, because there are so many things that have been popping up that have just been leading me to do nothing but worry. Oh no, what is happening? Because it's like a whole bunch of upheaval that's happening. Of course you're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel a little out of it. You're going to feel weird. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like things are breaking down. You're going to feel like you're being pushed in directions you're not comfortable with. All sorts of things are going to be occurring because in your feeling space, because your mind is going through a bit of a change right now. And so you're being tasked, as am I, God bless your buttons and mine as well. We're being tasked with creating conditions for change. Listen, let's zoom out a little bit. Actually, if we zoom out, we can possibly simplify this and say, hey, we're decluttering. Hey, it's pruning season. That's all. Hey, we're just tailoring. We're just cutting off what no longer suits us. As I said that, my throat chakra started to close. Somebody here may have, this is not feeling like a throat chakra, like speak up, right? That could be it for some of you. But I'm feeling somebody here may actually have asthma issues or something. Oh, I just saw a moth just land on the window and then take off. So for somebody, the moth is going to be pivotal for you or important for you. So you may want to go check that up as a totem or some type of spirit animal giving you a certain message. But I wanted to say somebody here may actually have asthma or something, but it's almost like giving me the feeling of someone either having asthma and mistaking it for some other condition, or having another condition and mistaking it for asthma. Does that make sense? So because it's like it's here in my throat and it's like, what's going on? Anyway, so that may make no sense to some of you listening. You're like, what? That sounded crazy, Jay. Or were you all over the place? But for the person or people that it's designed for, that came out word for word the way that it should have. Because Spirit does not mince words. God bless. God bless. We're not out here to mince words. We're out here to just keep it real. It's almost like literally having your breath taken away. Now let's look at that now, opening it up to a lot of us. Okay, now my stomach is starting to, guys, what is going on with you guys? I'm joking. Me too now, because I'm feeling it. In my solar plexus area, I'm suddenly feeling like a tightness in the stomach, and it's leading me to wonder, okay, is that the stomach region, or is that actually lower in the digestive system, or what's going on? Spirit, for you in particular, Spirit is saying, hey, got to listen to the body. The body is your first defense, in a sense, for the conscious mind, because conscious mind sometimes can't pick up on the subtleties of spirit. Because if you can, you're feeling that before your body even starts to react. You're like, oh, something's coming. And then, oh, my guts, oh, it's here, it's fear, it's here, it's fear, it's fear. You heard what I said. It's here, right? So start tuning into the body. For some of you, you may need a little extra help with learning to read incoming energy without the need of the body. But Spirit is saying you can also use your body, because it is also like an antenna. So you may be, if this is probably some of you others what I'm about to say, but some of you may be actually being guided to pick up some books about intuitive medicine. Some of you may be pushed towards taking a more mental approach, a more academic approach, a more grounded approach, a more whatever, rational approach, intellectual, whatever you want to say. Studying, researching about the body and how it is a conduit for energy. In fact, let me just go grab a book that they're putting in my mind. One sec. 2 books actually. Hold on. 3 books. Okay. Okay. You guys are so funny. If you guys hear me giggling in the background, it's because I'm like, you guys are so funny. I'm like talking to the guides, because you don't see it, but right here, my desk is here, and there's literally a window that I'm just sitting in front of. And on the other side of the room, behind me, I have my bookshelf. So I walked across the room, God bless, past the door and was bending down to get the books. I look up and guess who I see? Moth. Okay, the same moth who was like over here. This man flew all the way around the building, the house, and popped onto that window, the mesh, when I went to get the books. So if that doesn't say Spirit is approving of this book list, I just don't know what does. So where are the books, you ask? Great question. I have so many. One of them, well, since we're out here right now, medicine cards. I use this a lot. Some of you may already know that. I've used it in our videos. Medicine cards is, sorry about the lighting, but actually, thank you for the lighting. Medicine cards is all about cute little animals, animal spirits. And the guides asked me to get this back in 2021. And since then, they have been helping me to interpret what the messages are that come to me, because I'll just see like an animal pop before my eyes etherically, or one will come and hang around and I already know they're supposed to say something. The next one is the secret language of your body. All right, the essential guide to health and wellness. So if you're interested in stuff like this, it goes into body parts, ailments usually associated with this. And they're saying this is not designed to make anyone some crack shot into medical intuitive, right? Because for that you will need more training. And of course, you guys, if you follow the daily channeled messages, you will most likely have seen the post that they talked about initiations. Like some people are just initiated by spirit, by the councils that be, into certain fields, right? And you can, but doesn't mean you still can't do certain things for yourself, right? I mean, this is common knowledge. We're not living back in a day where everything's hermetically sealed. This is another book, The Subtle Body, an encyclopedia of your energetic anatomy. So this one's fun. So it covers all things about the energy field. It's an encyclopedia. Look, it goes through briefly, of course, the different systems of the body. It goes through, I believe, it talks about some energy modalities, right? So it's a nice little book to look at. So those are the books that they are bringing to my attention for you guys if you're on here. And of course, hello, Gemini. Look at Gemini already popping into our reading, right? Helping us to learn. But thank you, Spirit, for that. Going back to this message here, what we're trying to tell you guys is that you're going through some things, okay? THANGZ. You're going through some things right now. Remember to use the power of zoom out and the power of zoom in. And that in itself calls for equilibrium. If you notice that you're going through a lot of stress, a lot of things are going on with your physical body, you're lost, your finances, you're in the details. So make sure that you zoom out and you are able to find a way to apply a topic, a grander topic to what's happening. Oh, wow, I'm feeling really lost. I'm redesigning my room. I'm balancing my checkbook. I'm this, I'm that, and I'm losing some friends. Oh, zoom out. Oh, I'm decluttering. Okay, that helps to take the fear out of it, because life is cyclical, but it's also fractal, right? So when you understand that life is about cycles, you understand that, yeah, this too shall pass. Sometimes you're just like a lifetime. A lifetime is literally not even a full batting of your eyelids in the soul's time. It's like an increment of the lashes going down. It's such a small portion. And I think the guides wanted to bring that to our attention as well today in the daily channeled message, when they talked about one of the things that they ask you and they encourage you to keep in mind is that, man, regardless of how badly you think you're doing or how well or just whatever, you have to give yourself props, because a lot of times you don't know. And I can vouch for this when I work with clients. You may accomplish something in this lifetime, like, oh, I broke up with this person and it's really done, or I stood up to my mother, or I did this. You have no idea that your soul has been working on that theme for the last 8 lifetimes, for example. And so now, today, you're just like, oh, well, I'm glad that's over with. But they're like, hello, celebrate. Celebrate. Instead, you want to celebrate your 21st birthday and your 30th birthday. Where are we at? Where are we at? This is Earth. It's the upside down. So they're saying, start taking in, and you can celebrate those too, but start taking into consideration the fact that you're so awesome, you're so amazing, and ultimately, just like your perspective may be limited from this, your vision may be limited from this Earth perspective, and how that can actually create a disruption for you because you won't be able, sometimes you can't protect yourself because you can't see, and so you may need assistance, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, you may not be able to see all that you've done, and so it can be a little bit of a disservice to you because you should be celebrating yourself more. You should be loving yourself more, showing yourself a little bit more compassion. Like, dude, I'm out here trying. Yeah? All right? So anyway, have some humor with whatever it is that you do. When you bring laughing in, even if you fake laugh, you not like, hey Connie, wow, you look great, fake. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about if you're feeling stressed in your life, you just smile, and not smile like cover it over. No, literally smile because you like turn your mouth upward, because in so doing, your body takes a cue to release certain hormones, which bring you joy and mirth or lighten the mood. So there are ways to hack your body. This is for somebody else who may be interested. Those books that they were talking about with the body and doing some intro to intuitive medicine and stuff, they're saying another field of that kind of stuff is learning how to hack your body, in the sense like if you would like to induce happy hormones, there are certain things you can do. For example, one of those things is turning your mouth up, right side up, in other words, smiling. Okay, so that's my point. Anyway, so that's for somebody else. Wow, learning is definitely coming through. So thank you, Spirit. So long story short, so it looks like so far the guides have reminded us to bring some equilibrium to what it is we're doing and in our life, what it is we're experiencing, because there may be a lot of upheaval right now. We're during Aquarius season. Things are being blown away. Didn't Spirit say that? They've been saying that for the past month. Things that were not properly sewed and battened down will be blown away, and that's fine. We are changing. We are evolving. We are doing our best. But it would behoove us to take a more balanced approach, remembering that we are just going through a cycle. Okay, that's it. We're just going through a cycle, and keep your feet on the ground. Keep your heart. I almost said keep your heart in your stomach. No, keep your heart in your chest. Love yourself. I'm also hearing keep your heart in your chest, because some of you are wearing your heart on a sleeve right now, and so shadow energy can come out easily. If you're going through upheaval and you're going through stuff, if you misread it and you think the end of the world is going on, you will very easily, if you're not independent, you will look for somebody to lean on. You're going to try to hook up with people, get into other people's energy field, go back to exes, latch on to people in codependent ways, where it's like, no, hey, hold up. Going through some feelings. I got some things going on in my mind. I'm stressed. I want to lash out. I'm waking up. I'm disoriented. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm seeing this in my bank account. I'm feeling that. But hold on. I know it's Aquarius season. Let me slow my damn roll. This is literally the hallmark of Aquarius season. We are in a moon in Gemini. The moon is going to be in Cancer soon. I'm going to be feeling my emotions, my feelings. This is how we roll. These are cycles. Get my shit together. Let me put my feet down on the ground. Let me make sure I have my plan. If I have to just have a planner, and may I suggest this one? If I just have to have a planner around me, right? And I have to make plans on what to do every day to follow through during this season, then I will. If I have to create the space, then I will. I'm making a plan. I'm sticking to it. I'm feeling my feelings, but I'm keeping in perspective that I'm just going through a cycle. I don't need to reach back to Tom, Dick, and Harry, who I was dating before. I don't need to go back to my unruly mother-in-law because I'm scared and the inner child in me is starting to lash out and I'm scared. And so I'm latching on to somebody who has proven to me in the past that they don't have my best interests at heart, right? This is not a moment to freak out. This is a moment to understand what's up, deal with it, and understand it'll pass in, a few more days? Literally, I just watched Janelle's Moon in Taurus, and the guides were like, hey, don't freak out. Yeah, you don't have to be worried about anything. We don't care if that bill just arrived. We don't care if you had to have this conversation. It's not even a big deal. It feels like it's a big deal now, but in a few days, it's going to be gone. Literally. So, yes. This song, Two hearts that beat as one. Guess what? It's you turning to you, okay? You saw this moon card coming out in the reverse? That's right. This is what we're saying. Don't buy into the illusion. This is a time to pull closer to yourself, get your heart and your mind balanced, okay? Balanced. And in fact, here we have Seven of Angels, progress. So maintain the progress. That's what the guides were saying today. Keep the course. Stay in faith, keep the course. Maintain your intentions. And of course, speaking of intuition, you heard me almost say that. Look at this, sixth sense. You're going to have to be more mindful during this time, and especially as we're going into this moon in Cancer. Why? Because you may start to have intuition, but if you're not well trained in the energies as they move through your body, you may mistake your intuition for something else, or you may mistake something else for your intuition. For example, if you're feeling like, if using the same stuff about what's going on, if your life is going through some changes, you're in a cycle of change, reshuffling, and you're trusting spirit to help you to shuffle up into the right direction, then that means that you're also allowing things to change and letting chips fall where they may. But your job is to stay as grounded as possible. But let's say that during that process, you're feeling the upheaval. And again, so if you don't realize that it's just a cycle and that this too will pass, you may start to have feelings to reach out to someone, or to go do something, or to take a trip somewhere, or whatever, something impulsive. You may feel like, I'm going to do this. And you may think that's your intuition. And chances are it's not your intuition. It is you freaking out and you not realizing what's happening. So that's why Spirit is like, be mindful. Yes, we want to jump and say, it's my intuition. I just felt like it made sense. I thought it made sense and it blah, blah, blah. No, let's take the more mature and more appropriate route. Acknowledge the feeling. Feel where it is in your body. Are you feeling antsy? Where? Are you feeling angry? Where? Are you feeling grief? Where? Are you feeling guilt? Where? Are you feeling shame? Where? Are you feeling hopeless? Where? Are you feeling manic? Where? Are you feeling positive, but actually it's mania and you don't realize it, right? You have to start becoming aware of what these feelings look like when they pass through your body. Then you have to think, okay, well, when I feel like this, how does it usually express itself? Oh, that's right. I tend to get impulsive and I start trying to latch on to somebody in my life who I feel brings me a sense of stability or familiarity. Familiarity will get you into trouble faster than you can think because, familiarity is very often toxic. If just because you're familiar with an energy doesn't mean it's a healthy energy for you. In fact, a lot of times we need to transcend the conditioning that we've had. So this is why it means to be mindful. Know what you're feeling. Understand how it courses through your body. Understand how it expresses itself. When you see yourself starting to take those motions, I think I should cut my hair. Yeah, it's time to cut my hair. I think I'll dye it. I think I'll just go bald. Yeah, okay, well, what's going on? Well, I'm feeling intuitively, no, I don't actually feel that's your intuition. I think that's you needing to get grounded. Oh, you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, how would I know if it's my intuition? Well, like I said, go through the process of elimination. And when you can finally say, no, actually, I am grounded. I understand that I'm going through this larger cycle. I feel the way that it's being processed through my body. I am seeing the things that I'm feeling inclined to do. And I've looked at those things and I realized that, yes, some of those were my body and me kind of freaking out, but I see it now. And my shadows here, my wounded child here. Okay, I get it. What's left? Whatever's left, then let's start talking about it. Maybe that is your intuition, right? So let's say that you may not be the best in taking that kind of mindful approach. Then possibly what you can do is reach out to somebody that you feel is grounded, is a steady hand, is kind about it, is not going to buy into your let's go to Disneyland energy, is not going to shame you for that energy, right? You may need somebody to communicate and convey to you about what's happening for you because you're so in it, but you still are responsible for choosing mindfully who that is. Again, don't out of your haste go to your sister-in-law or your brother or your cousin or your best friend or your other friend whose life is falling apart and try to ask them for, so. And another thing the guides are saying, sometimes some people bury their heads in the sand and they're like, whatever. They're like, in times of upheaval like this, where your mind is racing, things are going crazy, sometimes burying your head in the sand might be okay a bit. Like how they were saying for the next 4 days, do not worry about anything. They're trying to communicate that our minds are going to be going crazy over the next 4 days. And sometimes there just has to be a little bit more trust in the universe and in our spirit teams. And look at this, what they're showing me, this card. They're like, we'll let you know when it's safe to come out again, right? Judgment. All right, and this is not going to be for everybody, right? Because everybody has different energies in their field. If you have a certain placement, planetary placement, or you have a certain orientation in your energetic field, or certain experiences from your past, you may be more susceptible to feeling crazy during this time. Whereas others, who, if you have like a lot of like earth or something like that, that's just not so easily swayed, or you're just whatever your circumstances are, you may be like, hey, things are going fine, right? So you have to also start knowing about you and your energy field. And again, it always comes back to observation, and knowing yourself. Okay. Now, please know that you may be like, look at that, I split the card, and what does it say? Balance. So you may be like, well, why do I always feel like I have to be hyper vigilant? You actually don't. You don't have to do anything in this lifetime. You live in a world where you live you live on a planet where your free will reigns supreme. And that, if you really knew how free your will was and how you're actually wielding it, you would probably be a little bit afraid. So you mean that was you, right? And so the best you can do right now is just try to understand that one of the best ways, if you struggle with doing, the mindfulness that we said, that process we were just talking about, being aware, conscious, mindful in your application, focus on being as grounded as possible, making your plans and thinking, how could this play out for me? And think and observe, how is it playing out for you? If you thought, let me book this trip and go here, if you notice your body's kind of feeling like, I don't know, then maybe it's okay to cancel the trip. Don't push yourself, right? Then that's possibly a sign that you've been kind of being impulsive about things, right? As I said, retreat, but see, it says retreat, but also contemplation. Oh, I should go on this retreat. Or should I contemplate whether I should go on this retreat? I'm so confused. Choices, literally. Look what point fell out. Exploration. And look how it wants to kind of turn this way. Sometimes you really just have to do your best, right? You have to feel your way through life. Life isn't just something that is just like, wow, I got it. No, this is an exploratory thing that we're going through. But if the difference between just mindless exploration, and I don't even know if that's even exploration, that's just wandering. If there's no mind to it. Speaking of wisdom, look at this. If there's no mind, adventure, see? Flexibility, dedication. If there's no mind to this, what are we doing? Then you're just wandering, boo. Because there's no reflection there. There's no contemplation. Even if your best bet is to reflect and contemplate in hindsight, you will still be in a much better position than if you just wander and you just keep having experiences after experiences. There's no learning, there's no whatever, there's no consciousness, there's no reflection, there's no nothing. It's like, wow, the rate of recidivism is high when in terms of this context. You just keep doing the same thing. And that's fine because nothing is wasted. It just takes you a little bit longer, and that's cool, I'm also seeing here, it says dedication, but when I first looked at it, the D was gone and I saw medication. So the guides are saying that to be mindful that some of the things that we take to medicate ourselves, whether it's because, hey, your body needs it on some level to function, or whether it's because you're self-medicating with substances or even behaviors and stuff, they're saying be mindful, because if that is taking you out of your mindfulness, it's making you mindless, it's zombifying you. It is sometimes some people just sometimes, what's crazy, sometimes it's not even that the medication for some people is doing that, it's their reliance on it. They're like, oh, I have quote unquote this problem, oh, I'm taking this, it'll be fine, I don't have to worry about this anymore, I'll take this. Oh, so now you're just gonna shut off and stop thinking because as far as you're concerned, you're taking, something that is going to clear everything, heal everything, and we're done. Like, okay. But what you're actually doing is you're giving your power away to something. So no matter what it is that you do in your physical expression, okay, because remember, all we're doing is expressing energy. You're expressing in the non-physical, and you have many levels of the non-physical. And then you just have this one level of physical experience, but your conscious mind will trick you into thinking this is your reality. It is not your reality. So anything that you're doing in your physical, you're just acting out what has already come before. So if you'd like to really start to create change even in the medical body, in the medical field, in the physical field, all this stuff, then you have to work in the non-physical. And yes, in conjunction with physical medicine and all of this, because now we're in the physical field. But there's a reason why people come back lifetime after lifetime and they keep creating issues in the same part of their body. In one lifetime, it'll be a handicap. In another, it'll be an accident that, severs this part. In another, it'll be some ailment that ravages the body. Yeah, because energetically, it's still there. And so in this lifetime, part of becoming balanced, as we're talking about fractals and cycles, part of becoming balanced is understanding that you're also balancing the non-physical with the physical. Hence, they gave us this book. And there are so many wonderful souls that have chosen to help further people's understanding that these things go together by incarnating into this lifetime with soul contracts to work in the sciences, the medical field, things like that. So we have people who used to be engineers and work for NASA. For example, Barbara Ann Brennan, who is an amazing medical intuitive and healer. We've got Dr. Joe Dispenza, who went through the medical field and now and both of them are using their knowledge, combined knowledge of the physical and non-physical, to document these things. We have many psychologists and therapists and psychiatrists, Dr. Brian Weiss, who is using his medical and clinical experience to show people through hypnotherapy that, hey, there's something beyond. So all these people are working to help to bring you guys and me, all of us, into the quote unquote future. But it's not really the future. It's just bringing us up to speed with what we already know on some level. That's all. So even me, when you come to me and I work with you and this and that, all I'm doing is reminding you of things you already know, but your conscious mind is needing a little bit of deconditioning, deprogramming, so that you can open back up to what it is that you already know. Healers do not heal people. I don't heal people. What I do is with my auric field, I help to create the conditions for you to connect to the healing energy. Maybe you have a lot of blockages in your field, maybe whatever. So we're actually working together to bring you into the awareness that's necessary and to create the energetic procedures and surgeries and blah, blah, blah that does occur in your non-physical field. So together we knock that out of the ballpark. That's what we do. It's working together, and we work together with spirit. It's co-creation at its finest. So anyway, long story short, get it together. Just kidding. No. I'm just kidding. Am I? Just kidding. Flexibility, wisdom, exploration with mindfulness. We're working through cycles. That's all. We're learning. That's all. We're remembering. That's all. I don't need to learn how to manifest. I already know how to manifest. So why do we have all these manifestation coaches? They're just actually, whether they know it or not, they're just trying to remind you that you're already manifesting the life you have. If you think it sucks in any one area, then you realize that you're not actually here to learn how to manifest. You're here to learn how to manifest from a more conscious mind perspective, so that you can be aware of the signals that you're emitting to the universe, because the universe is only giving you that which you ask it for. But your problem is you keep thinking that what you're asking for is something you're aware of. No, your subconscious is all over the shop ordering for you. So if you ordered a house, your subconscious is like, nah, scratch that. I think I'll just stay in my car. You know what I mean? You're like, wait, what? I want to live in this area. No, I think I'll just live over here. And the universe doesn't take two orders from you. It's going to take the strongest order. And if your belief in lack and poverty consciousness is stronger, that's the one it's going to hear, and you're going to keep getting that. And so that's why, once again, we come back to mindfulness, we come back to observation, we come back to consciousness, because a life lived without consciousness is just wandering, okay? Anyway, so under this moon in Gemini, Spirit is saying that we're meeting at a time where there's a lot of shift going on in the air. There's a lot of unconscious traffic, the guides are saying, coming through our fields. Everyone's trying to get things together. Now we have mercurial energy coming in, all bustly and all this and that. But put that energy to work. Help, let it help you to bring a mindful approach to what it is that you're experiencing. And keep in mind that you're just going through a cycle, because we're going into the moon in Cancer next. You're going to be up in those fields, babes. You're going to be in those feelings. And then on top of that, we're in the sign of Aquarius. Guess what sun sign we're going into next? Pisces. All right? Pisces. So start getting grounded now, so that when Piscean energy starts to roll in, you can start to wield the positive aspects of Pisces. You can use it to reach up, to reach in, to observe, to tap into your intuition. But if you roll into Intuitiveville without remembering that you still have to have your feet on the ground, then you just might be creating more havoc for yourself. You may be getting lost in what you think you're perceiving, but you think it's your intuition, but it's actually not your intuition. It's a mixture of your shadow and your desires that are shadow based, and your fantasies and your illusions that are, and all sorts of stuff. So and need I remind you that 2023 in particular is going to be very pivotal for humanity in as a collective, when it comes to dispelling illusions. So it's going to be quite a sobering kind of year. So if you have addictions, if you have coping mechanisms that take you out of a place of control, if you daydream too much, if you fantasize, if you lie a lot, if you're way out of your integrity with things in your field, this is not the year to kind of lay low. This is a year it's going to be made known to you. And so the more you can step into conscious mindfulness and accept what it is that you're seeing, make a plan on how to move forward, get used to what's going through your body, the more you can do that, the better you will fare during this year, because we're just learning. But the last thing we want to do is get lost in the lesson, okay? It's kind of like somebody being in a university class and they don't really follow the syllabus, which has been so nicely outlined for them. In other words, they don't realize we're going through modules, we're going through cycles, things like that. And they're just lost in all the homework and the assignments, and I don't get this and I don't get that, and what's going on. It's going to be rough, and you're going to have to find a way to get back in touch. You know, call upon a friend like, hey man, what the hell are we doing? They're like, dude, it's week 8. You know, we are at midterms next week. Is it? Yeah, let's chat. What are you doing for the rest of your life this semester? We need to study, right? So anyway, long story short, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. If you would like to connect and have a hot beverage avec moi, with me, yay, conmigo. I love hot beverages. Oh my God. I mean, what is life without it, right? You know how to roll. I do want to let you know, oopsie doodles, that I do offer mentoring services, and I am so pleased to say this, what I'm about to say now. Anything in my store that is $100, no, not even $100, that's $50 and more, can be paid in installments with Klarna. And I don't know, they're not paying me to say this, by the way. They're like, who are you? I don't know. But personally, when I shop on Etsy, and actually personally when I shop in general, I'm so bad, but I'm gonna give you a secret. If I want a new coffee table, I'll just go to Google and be like, Klarna coffee table. Like, don't waste my time. If I'm not Klarnaing, what are we doing? Anyway, so if you're like into Klarna as much as I am, please feel free that to know that it's affordable, okay? So anyway, I'm here for you. But either way, God bless you. If you prefer to tune into my free content, it is my wholehearted pleasure, listen with your heart, to offer you whatever you can take from my stuff. So we're coming up to February. Please know that I'm going to be putting out a nice little energy cleanse for the month of February soon. I did a surrender reading last night, but I scrapped it because I was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. So I'd like to do a surrender reading if it comes up again to be for you. Stay tuned for the astro reels. So we're going to be looking at the first 2 weeks of February per sign soon. Also keep on the lookout for the daily messages that come through, the monthly reading for February, of course, and moon readings as well. So God bless you. We got you. We got you. Okay. So let's do our best, and I will chat with you later. Mwah. Love you. Bye.